Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, as part of our Srimad Bhagavatam overview, um, so we are reciting these verses. These verses are often cited by Srila Prabhupada. These are the verses from second chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. So, first one here, text 4 from the second chapter of Canto 1. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. English translation. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectable obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, onto Naranarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, onto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and onto Srila Vyasdeva, the author. Text 5. Sumedha, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on.
Okay. Munayah sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhirlokamangalam yatkritah krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. Translation. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self.
Text 6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaituki apratiyata yayatma suprasidati. Translation. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Text 7, please.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Translation. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world.
Text 8. Dharmasvanushthitaha pumsam vishvaksena katasuyaha notpadayadyat rathim shremaye vayi kevalam. Translation. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. Text 9, please.
Dharmasya pavargasya nartortyopakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. Sorry, I messed up a little bit. Translation. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for the ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to the sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification.
Text 10. Text 10. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jignasa narto yacheha karma bihi. Translation. Life's desire should never be directed toward sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's work. Text 11, please.
Text 11. वदन्ति तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वं यज्ञानमद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवानिति शब्द्यते. Translation. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan.
Text 12. तच्छ्रद्धदानमुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्त्यात्मनि चात्मनां भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया. Translation: the seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes the absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Text 13.
अतः पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठा वर्णाश्रमविभागशः स्वानुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम्. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead.
Text 14. तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्यः कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येयः पूज्यश्च नित्यधा. Translation. Therefore, with one-pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the devotees. Text 15.
यद् अनुद्यासीनः युक्ता कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं छिन्दन्ति को विदास्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कतारतिम्. With sword in hand, intelligent men cut through the binding knots of reactionary work, karma, by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message?
Text 16. Shushrusho Shredadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat. Translation. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva.
Text 17. Shrinvatam swakatah Krishna punyashravana kirtanaha hridyantasto hyabhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. Translation. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, Supersoul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted.
Text 18. Nashta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtuke. Translation. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Text 19. Tada rajastamo bhavaha kamalobhadayascha ye chetare viddam stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and becomes completely happy.
Text 20. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Translation. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association.
Text 21. Vidyate hridaya grantis chidyante sarva samshayah क्षीयन्ते चस्य कर्माणि दृष्ट्वा एवात्मनीश्वरे. Translation. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitative actions is terminated when one sees the self as master.
And the next two verses are 28 and 29. They are together. And those are the last two verses that Prabhupada often cited in this from this chapter. I'll recite those two chapters. They are very powerful. So there we are, verses 28 and 29. Vasudeva paraveda, Vasudeva paramakaha, Vasudeva parayoga, Vasudeva parakriyaha, Vasudeva param jnanam, Vasudeva param tapaha, Vasudeva paro dharmo, Vasudeva paragatihi. Translation. In the revealed scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please Him. Yoga is for realizing
so what
Him.
we're doing is...
Sorry. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please Him. Yoga is for realizing Him. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by Him only. He is the supreme knowledge, and all severe austerities are performed to know Him. Religion, dharma is rendering loving service unto Him. He is the ultimate goal of life. So with this, we will end our live stream.
Hare
So thank you
Krishna.
very much, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.